What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into this heavy gist, please do me a quick favor, hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on everything happening in our country. Your support helps us keep bringing you the truth. Now let's get into it. There's a massive story trending right now involving the human rights activist Omoyele Sowore and the Department of State Services, popularly known as the DSS. The headline making waves is that Sowore has openly accused the DSS of a very clever but controversial move. He claims they are intentionally manipulating his court dates just to stop him from attending a major protest in Aba. For those who might not know, there was a huge #Free Nnamdi Kanu protest scheduled for yesterday, March 12, 2026, in the city of Aba. This protest was meant to call for the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, Sowore, who has been very vocal about this cause, was supposed to be there to lead the charge. But here's the twist. While thousands of people were gathering in Aba, Sowore was expected to be in a courtroom in Abuja. Yesterday, things got even more intense. In that Abuja court, the judge, Justice Mohammed Umar, actually threatened to revoke Sowore's bail and issue an arrest warrant for him. Why? Because Sowore and his entire legal team, we're talking about 30 lawyers, were nowhere to be found when his case was called. The DSS prosecutor told the judge that Sowore was served with a notice to be in court, but he simply didn't show up. Sowore's side of the story is quite different. He's essentially saying, look, this isn't a coincidence. He believes that every time there's a major social movement or a protest where his presence would make a difference, a random court date suddenly appears on the calendar. He views this as a tactical move by the state to keep him tied up in legal battles so he can't exercise his right to protest on the streets of Aba. It's a classic cat and mouse game. On one hand, the government is prosecuting him for alleged cyber stalking and making false claims against the presidency. On the other, Sowore says these charges are just tools to keep him busy and quiet. If you're finding this story interesting so far, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the algorithm show this to more people. This situation raises a lot of questions about our justice system. Is it possible for a security agency to influence when a judge hears a case? Or is Sowore simply using the protest as an excuse to avoid his day in court? The judge has decided to give Sowore the benefit of the doubt for now because he has been attending his trials regularly since late last year. However, the warning was clear. If he isn't in court by the next date, which is March 16, the police might be sent to bring him forcefully. Meanwhile, back in Aba, the protest still went on. People were out in their numbers demanding justice and the release of Nnamdi Kanu. This shows that even if one leader is held back by legal issues, the movement itself is still very much alive. It's a very tense time in Nigerian politics, especially as we start looking toward the next election cycle. So, what do you think about this? Do you believe the DSS is actually fixing court dates to block Sowore, or is the law just taking its course? It's a tough one. Before I go further into the local reactions from the people of Aba, I want to see your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the conclusion of this story. Moving on with the gist, things really heated up in the courtroom. While everyone in Aba was expecting to see Sowore, the judge in Abuja was literally looking at an empty chair. The prosecutor for the DSS, a very senior lawyer, was not happy at all. He told the judge that Sowore was properly informed about the hearing, but he chose to ignore it. He even asked the court to revoke Sowore's bail immediately and order the police to go and arrest him wherever he was. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. The judge, Justice Umar, decided to be a bit fair. He noticed that since this case about cyber stalking started late last year, Sowore has actually been showing up regularly. So the judge said, okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt this one time. But he gave a very serious warning. If he isn't in court by that court Monday, March 16, there will be no more stories. An arrest warrant will be signed and he will be brought to court by force. Now, why is this a big deal for the protesters? Well, many people believe that if Sowore is arrested or kept in custody, it might take the energy out of the movement. But from what we saw in Aba yesterday, the people are not backing down. Even without him physically there, thousands of people reportedly joined what some are calling a 1 million march to demand that Nnamdi Kanu be released. The city was basically on a standstill, with businesses closed and the streets full of people chanting. If you're still with me and enjoying this update, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We need to reach more people with this gist, and your sub makes a huge difference. So here's the big question for the related talk today. Sowore is facing charges because he allegedly called the president a criminal on a social media post. Some people say that's just his opinion and he has a right to say it, but others say we must respect our leaders and watch what we say online. What do you think? Is this about the law, or is it a way to stop him from joining the protest in Aba? This Monday is going to be a very big day in Abuja. Will Sowore show up to face the judge, or will he continue to stand with the protesters and risk going back to his cell? The tension is real, and the whole country is watching to see what happens next.